Hello everybody, Captain Marty here. It's Wednesday, April the 23rd. A lot to talk about on the fishing front, and I'll be back to do just that in a moment.
Let's be real. No one wants to deal with nasty varmints like mice, roaches, creepy crawlies, and critters. Leave that work to the experts at Outer Banks Pest Control. Outer Banks Pest Control is the best on the beach when it comes to eradicating those unwanted creatures. They've been in business for over 25 years with well over 100 years of combined exterminating experience. Specializing in both commercial and residential properties, Outer Banks Pest Control has all the tools and equipment necessary to take on any pesky job. They pride themselves on top quality customer service and workmanship. Hey, if the trucks ain't red and yellow, it just ain't the right fella. Outer Banks Pest Control, the best on the beach with a proven track record of excellence since the year 2000 and online at outerbanks-pestcontrol.com.
Ahoy there, folks. Captain Edward Lee here, and I want to invite you aboard the Miss Oregon Inlet 2. She's a modern 60-foot head boat outfitted with the latest top-quality safety and fishing equipment. We make 3 trips per day out of the world-famous Oregon Inlet Fishing Center. Visit MissOregonInlet.com or call us today at 252-251-4314. So ditch the beach for a bit and set sail with the Miss Oregon Inlet 2.
The guys are earning their keep offshore as we've had several days of breezy southwest winds, and that can make for a rough day getting out to the Gulf Stream. We continue, though, to have decent fishing. Hatteras has had puppy drum and quite a few, Hatteras has had blackfin tuna and a few wahoos in their catches down that way when they get out. Up inside of that a little bit, they're catching some king mackerel. And some of the guys that are up in the inshore areas are catching some puppy drum and some bigger size drum, too, on some of the wrecks. So there's a little bit going on, but you got to deal with the weather. That's pretty normal for this time of year. At Oregon Inlet, they had a really good day on the yellowfin tunas on Monday. Yesterday, it started out rough and slow, but not much going on. But by the end of the day, in the afternoon, the bite picked up a little bit, and they came in with good catches of tuna. Our inshore fleets up this way scattered king mackerel, but a lot of our nearshore and inshore boats, or half-day boats, are doing really well on these 2 to 6 pound bluefish we've been talking about. Just a beautiful class of fish. And so there's a little bit of stuff going on. That intermediate fishing is picking up little by little. When we see those bluefish, we've already seen some ribbon fish. We've talked about the kings. Next thing will be some Spanish mackerel showing up. And, of course, when the season is open, there'll be a lot of bottom fishing going on, more than ever happened when I came through the fleet. But they'll fish for sea bass and tilefish primarily. So all that is good. Closer to the beaches and the piers and the surf, that report remains pretty much the same. We're having 4 things mainly to fish for: bluefish, same ones I was just telling you about, puppy drum, black drum, and some of them are very large, and some sea mullet. Now, there are a few other things. There's some small bottom fish going on, and there are, on occasion, there's some big red drum being caught down on Cape Point. And sometimes Rodanthe Piers had a great spring on their drum fishing, and so have some of the other piers. So that those fish, all they do is they move up and down the beach looking for something to eat. And if you happen to be at the right place at the right time, you would call it really good fishing. But if you go down there and the fish have moved off somewhere else feeding, you can think there's no big drum around here. So it's just all on where the bait is. That's where you're gonna find this big drum. So we'll take a little breather right here, and I'll come back and talk to you a little bit about what's going on in the Sound.
Hi, I'm Captain Jay Cudworth of the Kokomo with Paradise Dolphin Cruises at Safe Harbor Marina in Wanchese. I want to invite you to take a ride out on the Roanoke Sound to see the majestic bottlenose dolphins up close. As a native, I'll be telling you stories from these waters as a boy growing up in Wanchese. Nature and history have combined to make this area unique, and I love sharing this special place with special people. So come on aboard with me and my crew and experience the real beauty of the Outer Banks. For more information, go online to ParadiseDolphinCruises.com. Again, this is Captain Jay. I look forward to seeing you soon.
So sound side fishing or backcountry fishing also holding its own with some very, very good sheephead fishing. That sheephead is the fish of the day already this year, with some going up and over 10 pounds. That's really big. Never caught a 10-pound sheephead in my life. In fact, I think the biggest one I ever caught was about 6 pounds. So these are really big sheephead, and they're fairly plentiful. Our backcountry guides are mixing up days with those, with puppy drum and with sheephead, to do really, really well. And then you got a few bluefish in the catches and a few speckled trout, a few gray trout as well. All that, though, it's not Katie bar the door great fishing, but especially if you're with a professional guide that does that every day, the fishing's pretty good. So it'd be the time for you to start thinking about fishing around the south side of some of these shorelines, especially down around Wanchese, for instance, or the back sides of Hatteras and Ocracoke, which right now that bite in the sound has been really good. My friends down there, the backcountry guys in Hatteras, they've been at it for most of the spring with some really, really good catches. That's a really fast-growing part of the industry right now. You go out on a center console boat with you and a friend is ideal, and the captain, for a total of 3. But three customers and the captain is fine. But a really good way to introduce younger people to fishing, and it's not a long trip, generally no more than 4 hours. So that might be something you want to keep in mind. So that is what we have as we work towards the weekend. Kind of rainy and windy, like I said, last 24 hours, depending on where you're at. But it's looking good for the rest of the week up until Saturday, and then we got more rain coming. But the rain won't hurt a thing. The fish are already wet, so go out there and take your chances. You're not going to catch them in the motel room. Hope you have a great day.